Good evening. Welcome to the Puerto Podcast. Actually, it's a very special day today because we are joined by one of the most prestigious director.
Tax na. So,
is it in the indie film industry?
Not really. Kasi isa pa lang naman yung nagagawa ko.
Okay.
So, kumbaga, mostly mainstream naman yung trabaho ko. Pero as production designer before.
Okay, so let's all welcome Direk Nico Garcia, the director of Pluning way back 2017. Tama po ba?
2008.
2008. Okay.
Katagal,
tagal na rin pala.
17 years ago.
Yes. So now we will talk about productions, film, at saka yung mga future endeavors ni Direk. For the meantime, Direk, actually mga fans nyo hinahanap kayo because it's been a long time since you made a film. What's keeping you up those years?
Between 2008 and now, life happened.
Okay.
So, kumbaga, nag-settle ako sa Palawan. I really envision my life to be, dati pag tinatanong nila ako, ang visualization ko, when I turn 40, I will be in Palawan. Yun yung parati kong sinasabi. So, anticipating ako na by then, I can already work as a production designer by submitting designs and doing work online. So, yun. And then in 2011, I directed Survivor Philippines in San Vicente.
Wow!
That's when I realized na first time ko tumira sa mainland Palawan as an adult for a month. Survivor, madali lang, wala ka halos ginagawa.
Okay.
Gabi lang yung ano. So, doon ko na-realize na, teka lang, anong ginagawa ko sa Manila? Ganito pala kaganda yung hometown ko.
Yes.
So, slowly positioned going there. Along the way, I tried making projects. I tried putting up projects. But really, it wasn't, hindi pumipitik eh. Hindi talaga siya pumipitik.
Okay.
I tried doing, siguro, it's the effect of, ang lalim na kagad ng usapan. It's the effect of, it's unang tanong pa lang. It's the effect of Pluning being big. Kumbaga, I didn't intend it to be big. I just wanted to make something that will make Cuyunons proud. Because that time, sabi nila, 16,000 na lang kaming mga tao sa mga Cuyunon. More than half of that, hindi na nagsasalita ng Cuyunon. So, yun yung objective ko. But after the film was, and also as my 30th birthday gift to Julian, who happens to be my little sister, who turned to be my best friend nung grown up na siya, that reason, those two reasons were the driving force para gumawa ako ng pelikula. I was not even supposed to direct it. I was asking Joyce Bernal to direct the movie. But sabi niya, hindi ko didirect yan. Yan yung kinikwento mo paglasing ka. Baka mag-away pa tayo pag hindi ko nagawa ng tama. So, yun. But, ako nga, nung sinushoot ko sa Kuyo, I just remembered nung nakatayo ako sa Tandang Sora dun sa Square kailan nung
QC? Tandang Sora QC.
Yung Tandang Sora sa Kuyo. Sa Kuyo, merong yung main town square doon na may ano ni Tandang Sora, may monumento ni Tandang Sora. So Tandang Sora yung tawag doon. When I was shooting it, I didn't even know that it's gonna be that big. So after that, it became the Philippine entry to the Oscars.
Congratulations.
So, nung tinatanong ako nung time na yon, ang sabi ko palang parate, ewan ko baka mas marami pa makapanood ng shooting kesa sa makakapanood ng pelikulang to. Kasi doon tinatanong nila ako. And then, that was okay. The Oscars was okay for me because every year may nakukuha namang entry sa Oscars, ganun. But also, 4 months after the film was shown, the film was shown in May, October, pinatawag ako sa Sangguniang Panlalawigan, and they made a provincial resolution declaring Cuyunon as the official language of Palawan, and citing Pluning as a catalyst for that. Doon ako medyo, malaki to. Malaki na to. Proud ako, pero kumbaga, siguro being young and after that pumunta ako, nag-campaign ako sa Oscars. Nakaka-party ko na sina Oprah. May mga gabi ng lasing sa tabi ko si Anne Hathaway. Yung
baka
gano'n,
naman, direct. Baka naman.
So, there will be nights na dati ang daming butas ng tenga ko. Kasi, mamayang gabi, makikita ko si Leonardo DiCaprio sa Palm Springs International Film Festival. Magpapabutas ako ng tenga ko. Parang souvenir ko. Kumbaga,
okay.
Just to remind myself. So, that. And then, but another goal for me was, sa Kuyo kasi, nung bata ako, nagpapalabas lang ng pelikula pag Holy Week. No. So, ang goal ko talaga when I was writing Cloning, I want the film to be shown pag Holy Week. Gusto ko yung may isang plasang pinapalabas yung pelikula pag Holy Week. So, kaya when Octo Arts asked to manage the movie and GMA wanted to hold it for a while, they're even offering to buy the film perpetually. Sabi ko, basta pinapalabas niya siya pag Holy Week. Yun lang yung hiling ko kasi I really wrote it. It was really my I became a Christian in 2005. So that was really my kumbaga hindi ako marunong mag-disciple, hindi ako marunong mag-evangelize panong time na yon. The only way I can express my faith is through my film. So yun yung ko. Yun yung when I watch it was really a testament of my level of understanding of my faith back then.
Okay.
Ba ng sagot ko, di ba?
Tama po, sakto. So,
seryosohin ko to kasi ang formal eh. Ang ganda ng set eh.
So, dito na po tayo nagtatapos, no? Naikwento na po.
Seryosohin ko to, ang social eh. Hindi ko alam na may ganitong set sa Puerto eh. Di sige, gawin natin to. Ituring natin tong
tama po. So given the planning way back 2008, ang tanong po bakit po tayo naka-shades?
Ako. Sige. Ako sa'yo hindi ko sure Pero ako mauuna. Ako tinanong Si Pam nung huli siya nagpa-picture sa akin.
Yes po.
Si Pam is my cousin, works for you. Nung huli siya nagpa-picture sa akin, naka-4 na takes.
Okay po.
Sabi niya sa akin, Manong, sarado yung mata mo eh. Sarado yung mata mo eh. Sabi ko, alam mo, sarado talaga yung mata ko. Kasi yung tatay ko, sarado yung mata niya. So, kumbaga, yun yung ko. So, So, kumbaga, pag sa picture, wala talaga akong mata eh.
Tama
diba?
po.
So, kumbaga, pag nasa picture, para safe lang na hindi na ma-take two, nagsi-shades na lang ako para hindi ako natitake two. Kasi, hindi naman tayo kapugian. So, malamang nakakatulong din naman minsan yung styling.
Mari po, hindi natin masabi.
Stylist ako eh. So, kumbaga, panindigan ko na style ko na to. So, kumbaga, yun yung ko. Para, kahit nakapambahay ako, pag nag-shades ako, mukhang base na.
Tama po.
Dito sa Palawan kasi ganun lang eh. Black at shades, okay na ako. Pwede na to pang gabi. Hindi ko alam na may interview ako ngayon, pero tumatawid na rin naman to pag tonight shot, di ba?
Well, actually sa akin, same reason din po. Kasi singkit din ako.
Di ba?
Pag nagpipicture, pinapaulit din nila minsan. So, nainis na ako, nag-shades na lang ako.
Diba? Kasi yun yung problema. At take po tayo ulit. Lalo na yung pag may mga artista kang kasama, nakasmile na sila yung...
Tama po.
Tsaka pag may artista, lialamado na ako doon sa accessories na lang.
Tama po.
Doon na ako babawi sa styling. Kasi bago ako naging I was a production designer before I became a director. I was a long time production designer, and I'm backstory ko lang kung ba't ako naka-shades. And at one point before I directed, before I became a Christian, I was designing 8 shows in ABS.
Wow.
I had about 140 people working for me. Okay, and meron akong 3 apartment na puro costumes lang. So celebrities will go to my house, get costumes, the likes of Derek Ramsey, Piolo, Jericho, John Lloyd, Carlo Aquino, Ketchup. Halos that time ako yung nagdadamit sa kanila lahat, hindi pa formal yung styling. So whenever I buy clothes, may extra na yan. Pero minsan, nauunahan nila akong isuot yung akin.
Okay po.
So pag nakita na sa artista, back na lang ako sa basic. In fact, I have 4 of these shades. Nung kailan lang, sabi ni Kyle Echari sa akin, Derek, ang ganda ng shades mo. Sabi ko, sa'yo na. Ganun ako.
Ay, Derek, ang ganda ng shades mo.
Nabigay ko na yung pambigay ko. Di ba? So, ganun yung ano ko, ganun yung I dress up for the
occasion.
Yung pinakasimple, yung pinakasimple na ano, yung pinakasimple na pwedeng mukhang nakaayos ka na. Ito siguro yun. Ang haba na naman ang sagot ko.
Tama, hindi. Okay lang po yun. Okay lang po. So yun po, no. Bago tayo magpatuloy, siguro kilalanin po natin yung pinagdaanan nyo para mas maintindihan namin yung psychology ng Pluning. No,
Okay.
Way back nung nagsisimula pa lang kayo when you were a kid. Mahaba po ba to?
Ang mga tayo, magpaluto ka na ng salabat. Magpaluto ka na ng salabat.
Ayun po.
Oo.
Going back, Derek, paano po nag-start yung love nyo sa film?
Ako, I was born in Cuyo Island. Nung hanggang grade 6 sa Cuyo ako. So yun nga yung kwento ko. Magkakaroon lang ng pelikula sa Cuyo pag mahal na araw. Sa simbahan pinapalabas. Naabutan ko pa yung last days nung 2 sinihan sa Cuyo. Pero isang beses na lang ako nakapanood doon. Alam na alam ko kung ano yung mga pelikulang napanood ko doon. Tapos, nag-transition siya to Betamaxan yung tawag. Yung magkatatayo lang.
Oo,
ng tubo ng
tama.
Betamax. So, yun yung ano ko. Yun yung exposure ko sa film. But, nung nag-high school ako, I tried to go to nung time kasi na grade 4 ako, they wanted me to send I was supposed to represent Cuyo sa Boy Scout Jamboree dito.
Jamboree, opo.
So yung college professor ng arts, tinuruan na ako mag-paint, tinuruan na ako mag-drawing, si Mr. Para sa Cuyo. So hindi ko na ina-anticipate yung mag-high school ako, magka-college ako sa Cuyo dahil nga yung mga teacher sa Picat, naging teacher ko na when I was training for the Jamboree.
Oh.
So sa Manila na ako nag-high school.
Okay,
Nung sa Manila ako nag-high school, yung inclination ko was more fashion. So high school ako, pumupunta na paglabas ko sa San Sebastian College, dumidiretso na ako sa Pioneer Street para mag-submit sa mga magazines ng drawings ko.
Okay po.
So at as early as first year college, I got my designs published already. So nung magka-college na ako, my mom wanted me to be a doctor kasi nga ganun yung sukatan eh. Kasi lumaki ako sa hospital din sa Cuyo. My mom is a merchant ng mga products and yung tatay ko yung nag-aangkat sa mga isla, yung nanay ko yung nagdadala sa Manila.
Okay po.
So technically, most of the time, I was brought up by the nurses at the Cuyo General Hospital back then, katabi ng bahay namin. Exposure ko, when you watch Pluning, it's conversations of women. Ito yung conversations na naririnig ko doon sa mga nurses na gumagawa ng cotton balls. Oo.
Okay.
So yun. So nung nasa college na ako, nag-qualify ako ng pharmacy sa UP Manila. Tapos meron akong isang major subject. Basta subject na hindi ko linya kasi alam ko ng arts talaga ako eh. May isang exam na pinatawag ako ng professor ko, sabi niya sa akin, Mr. Garcia, yung exams mo, wala talagang laman-laman. Wala ka talagang kasagot-sagot dito sa blue book mo. Pero yung drawing mo sa likod, maganda.
Okay.
So, anong ginagawa mo sa pharmacy? Na-design na lahat na ng bote ng gamot? I think I was eyeing to transfer to visual communications in UP, but sabi niya, why don't you check clothing technology in Diliman? Home Economics, College of Home Economics. So sabi ko, sige. Sabi, tulungan lang kita, mabuo mo yung 30 units and then you transfer. Nag-transfer ako, clothing technology, pero hindi ko maamin pa sa Cuyo dati na nasa College of Home Economics ako kasi parang weird, hindi siya normal. College of Home Economics. Parang clothing technology? Ano to? Ay, asang-asa kami na dudoktor ka kasi batang hospital ako eh.
Diba? Alien yun para sa kanila, alien.
Oo, parang alien yun eh. Sinikreto ko pa yun sa mga magulang ko. Sabi ko, nag-shift ako ng fine arts. Pagdating nila, ano to? Yung sinisend pa yung, i-mail pa yung result sa UP, di ba? Ay, yung grades mo. Ano tong course mo? Ano ka, sastre? So, yun. And then, ilang sems ako sa clothing tech. Nung papunta na doon sa may math, nung may exams na kami na sinusunog, nakapiring ka, chemical composition ng tela, nakapiring ka, susunugin yung tela, amuin mo para masabi mo kung ilang percent cotton, ilang percent rayon, ilang percent ano. Doon na ako medyo, teka lang. Kumuha ako ng electives na ngayon ng theater arts. Yung electives ko, ginawa kong theater arts. Bagsak-bagsak ako sa chem ko na naman, sa clothing tech. Pero sa theater arts, ako yung nagle-lecture sa klase. Ng costume design. So that was mid-90s, and that was also the time that they were, I did my thesis in theater na Tony Babesa asked me to design a musical, Elias at Salome the Musical, which is an adaptation of the characters from Noli. And I saw that I can do period costumes. I like doing turn of the century costumes. That's when some people from Bayani of ABS-CBN started to ask me to attend to some shoots, to be the wardrobe, taga-bihis ng mga artista, and then eventually transition to Maalaala. I stayed in ABS for 10 years, and yun nga, nagtayo ako ng kumpanya. A production design company with I was handling 8 shows that time. Tapos nilalagnat na ako pag nagbabasa ng script. Nung ginagawa ko nun yung Super Ingo, nilalagnat na ako pag nagbabasa ako ng script, hindi ko na siya gusto.
Pero direct na saan yung pluning dito in the middle of all of this?
Yun nga, after that, I closed my production design company and I went to India to teach production design in some it's a short-term workshop for Every Nation Church. Doon nagsushoot din kami ng series doon. Nung sabi nila, umaarte yung dalawang kasama ko na misyonaryo, sabi ng pastor ko, ikaw nga mag-direct na itong eksena to. Nung nag-direct ako, yung parang, ay gusto ko tong feeling na to, bago. Yung bago sa akin to. Yung pala, kaya na ako nabobore sa production design kasi there are things that I want to do already. May visions na ako na hindi ko ma-execute as a PD. Nalilimitahan ako.
Limited ka na.
So that's when I went home here, and then I got an offer to develop a movie for Manila Genesis was putting together people who can help make a movie for Gary and Donita.
Okay.
Tapos after 1 month of meeting, walang magawa. Na-involved close na kami nung 4 na kasama ko. Wala kaming makahanap na tamang proyekto for Gary and Donita. Sabi nila, paano to? Papack up na nung Manila Genesis yung project. Pero gawa na lang tayo, trip na lang tayo. Sabi ko, sige. Sabi na, anong storyline natin? Sabi ko, meron akong 8-year-old concept.
Okay.
But it has to give in. It has to be Judy Ann Santos, and it has to be shot entirely in Cuyup, Palawan.
So talagang handpicked niya si Judy Ann?
Ako, mahabang kwento na naman yan.
O sige, sa part 2 po natin, itutuloy po natin yung...
Si Judy Ann, I knew her when she was 13 years old. Tapos, nung magsisimula siya mag-artista, yung landlady ko na kuyunon din sa Cubao, si Juday sa may Tuazon yung bahay niya, ako sa may other side of Cubao. Yung mga duster na ginagamit niya sa Mara Clara, nung mga unang araw ng Mara Clara, duster ng landlady ko yung hinihiram.
Oh, wow.
So I'll go with her sa shoot.
That's why,
ganun kami kalayo. So when she was, that time, Claudine was doing good movies already, and Angelo, and she was leading lady lang siya ng mga action stars. One night, umiiyak siya sa akin na parang, sabi niya, gusto ko ng maayos na pelikula. So, a week before that, narinig kong nasa isang inuman, tinugtog yung pluning na first time ni-record ng Sinika, yung pluning, first time ko narinig na kinanta ng babae.
Okay po.
Ang pluning kasi kanta ng lalaki.
Ano po ba to? Folk song ng kuyo?
Folk song na kuyo, no?
Okay.
It's a man's promise to a woman.
Okay.
Na panghawakan mo lang tong promise ko. Babiyahe ako, pero panghawakan mo lang tong promise ko. All my life, naririnig ko siyang kanta nung kinakanta ng lalaki. Sa album ng Sinika na Latong Kuyo, first time siyang ni-record ng babae. nung narinig ko siya, doon sa discussion namin sa inuman, sabi na, ano ba yung, tomboy na ba si Ploning? Parang, bakit babae yung kumakanta for Ploning? Sabi ko, hindi. Siya na yan. Si Ploning na yung kumakanta nung song. Kasi she's just trying to remember the promise by singing it to herself when she's lonely.
So ito na po yung birth nung
Yun yung nangyari. And then a week after that, yun nga yung umiiyak si Juday sa akin. Sabi ko sa kanya, I will develop a film concept when the right time comes. I will find people to make a movie for you na ikaw lang yung title role ka.
But how personal Ploning movie is to you? Since Kuyo talaga, land of birth niyo yung Kuyo, tama po ba, direct?
Oo.
So how personal yung pagsulat niyo nung story ng movie, yung storyline ng movie? Is this a typical life in Kuyo or...
All the characters in Ploning has a Kuyunon counterpart. Has a real-life counterpart. Yung character ni Ploning, yung nurse na nagpalaki sa akin, yung nag-aalaga sa akin pag wala yung mga magulang ko, at yung dalawang lola ko sa mother side, kinumbine ko yung character nila. Yung lola ko kasi sa mother side, sa mother side, bumababa sa bayan para magtinda ng kung ano mang makuha niya na hatis, ganyan, itlog. Yung lola ko naman sa father side, nakapag-aral siya, siya yung gumagawa ng letter sa mga hindi marunong magsulat na kapitbahay niya. Siya yung tagabasa ng mga telegrama. So,
was it a hard life way back?
No, it's a very beautiful life. It's a very beautiful life. It's actually a perfect. When I look at it, sabi nga nila nung nire-release ko yung Ploning, direct bakit parang labas sa Tide parati si Ploning at taga-baryo siya. Sabi ko, you've never seen Kuyo. People dress up after work. We dress up. Kasi kami, it's a very small island, but it's sabi nga nila, nung time na Spanish era, yung mga nagme-misbehave na mga royalties, doon pinapadala sa Kuyo. Kaya mga mistisa yung mga Kuyo nun . Maraming marurupok nung sinaunang talahian na maigi. So walang maniwalang IP group ang mga Kuyo nun kasi nga mga mistiso. Kahit itanong mo sa isang nakaupo dyan. Diba?
Direct, gano'n po kalayo yung Kuyo from Puerto Princesa?
16 hours by boat on a clear day.
Alis na po kami ni Kuya Marvin.
Yung alon.
Bubuk na po kami ni Kuya Marvin. Wait lang po.
If malalaki yung alon, bahala na si Lord kung kailan ka makakarating doon.
Pero 16 hours.
Oo.
16?
At least.
Wow.
Oo.
Must be a very beautiful place, ha?
Closer siya sa Panay Island. On a clear day from Kokoro, kita mo yung Antique. So mas malapit sa doon.
Pero is it like a Virgin Island talagang...
14 kilometers lang siya paikot. So maiikot mo siya maghapon na 1 litro lang ng gasolina. Makikita mo lahat ng mga kamag-anak mo sa loob ng isang araw. And that time, you know everyone.
Tapos hindi pa siya exploited up until now.
Ngayon, I will say marami na ring mga nagsettle doon na hindi talaga mga taga doon. But
commercialized na po ba? Hindi naman.
Last week, first time kong umuwi after 17 years. Hindi ako umuwi since Ploning was shown. I'm feeling ko kasi na-fulfill ko na yung kailangan ko sa Ploning. So, nung ganun. And then, ang hirap ding umuwi. And then, my parents are back from the US. Hindi ako pwedeng umuwi sa Kuyo kasi malayo yung... At least pag sa Manila ako, anytime na kailanganin nila ako, makakabiyahe ako. Akala ko magbabago yung lugar. Ay, grabe. May pitik to ng konti. Pag umaralgal yung boses ko, i-score nyo na lang.
Pakinggan nun, direct pakitaas yung stage magkano.
Pag umaralgal yung boses ko, pakiscore na lang ng maganda.
Sige po.
Hindi. Akala ko nagbago yung Kuyo. Pero hindi ako nag-book ng anything, basta sabi ko darating kami dalawa ng little girl ko sa Kuyo and I'll try to make it feel like home. Pero yung bahay namin may nakarenta. So hindi ako pwedeng tumira doon. So sabi ko whatever happens, I can sleep sa baybay kasi dati naman akong may dala naman akong mga pero an hour after that it didn't change. It's still the same. It's still as beautiful. It's still as cinematic as...
Pero nakita ko yun ng Kuyo, direct. Feeling mo ba tinanggap ka ng Kuyo na ibang tao na or the same?
I was ready nung ginawa ko yung Ploning. Kaya hindi ako umuwi sa Kuyo. Yung totoo, kaya hindi ako umuwi. Kasi sabi nila, mas mahirap kang tanggapin sa lugar mo kaysa sa ibang lugar. So I don't want to get hurt with that. Inilayo ko yung sarili ko muna sa Kuyo. Kasi feeling ko, pag may nakikita ko, kailan ba yung part 2 ng Pluning? Ano ba? Kailan mo gagawin yung tuting? Wala. It's very seldom that you get a congratulatory.
Yes.
So, kumbaga, siguro that time I needed that. Ngayon, I don't need it anymore. Kumbaga, ma-appreciate yun. Hindi, okay na ako. Kumbaga, Pluning changed my life. And
Pero,
kumbaga, wala na akong ganun eh. Kaya malakas na rin ang loob kong umuwi.
Okay, since hindi nyo na-receive yung congratulatory, tingin nyo it left a mark in you. That's why you're doing perhaps another movie, right?
Yeah.
Ito yung, ano ba to, prelude or sequel ni Pluning?
Hindi ayoko siyang tawaging sequel talaga kasi patay na si Pluning sa movie. So kumbaga it cannot be Pluning part 2 because patay na si Pluning. But I researched kasi ang isang inspiration ko si Wong Kar-wai na Hong Kong na parang yung In the Mood for Love niya nasundan ng isa pang movie after several years of different generation, iba na yung may ilang character lang na sumulpot. So sabi nila it's the spiritual continuity of the movie na In the Mood for Love. So ako I'm tagging this one as the spiritual continuity of Pluning. Kumbaga, few characters are there. It still is a very Kuyunon movie, but it's now it's a present day movie. Kasi yung Pluning 1982 and 2007 yung setting ng pelikula. So ang layo-layo na niya. But it still is as siguro it's as sweet and as ang sabi ni Joyce Bernal nung nabasa niya yung storyline. Grabe, sobra siyang romantic, sobra siyang Palawan now, sobra siyang sweet, hindi siya bagay sa akin.
So ito, bigger scope kasi Paragua na eh. Paragua means Palawan. Tama po ba?
It's what we Kuyunons call mainland Palawan. When I was young, pag pupunta ka sa mainland Palawan, pupunta ka sa Paragua. Yun
But, nung sinusulat niyo ba itong Paragua direct, nakikita niyo ba yung nakaraan niyo na or hinahanap nyo pa rin yung congratulatory nung lupang tinubuan nyo na hindi nyo na-receive way back nung ginawa nyo yung Pluning?
Actually, yung niyan,
sorry, cut lang kita. Is it, yung aim ba nito is to settle the score between yourself way back at saka ngayon na hindi nyo na-receive yung proper congratulatory na inangat nyo yung Kuyo? Hinahanap nyo pa ba yun? Or
hindi na.
Hindi
actually ang sabi ko nga between Pluning, I tried talking to people, pero pag nakakikita ko ng red flag na magpo-produce, kina-cancel ko kaagad because Pluning was big and I tried making films na 5 million ganun, parang hindi sa sumaswak.
Okay po.
Tapos when I meet people, they want to produce it for business. But when I did Pluning, it was no business angle at all for me. Kumbaga, I just left it to people who knows how to handle it.
Very true artist.
Diba?
Yes.
Ako naman, ang ano ko niyan, trying everything. Tapos nag-settle na ako dito kasi sa Palawan. Ang skill set ko, walang bayad sa islang ito. But I have to stay kasi I cannot be anywhere else. Ayoko na sa ibang lugar eh. I have to stay. I'm raising a kid. Pinasok ko na siya sa regular school because I want her to. Yung mga kaibigan ko sa Manila, nag-i-English lahat ng mga anak niya. Gusto ko marunong siya mag-Kuyo. Nakakaintindi siya ng Kuyo.
Okay.
Pero siya mag-Tagalog. Dito na ako. Kumbaga nandito na ako. Tapos nung pandemic, nung 2020, every year halos pinapalabas ng GMA yung Pluning ng Holy Week. Usually Thursday or Friday. Noong pandemic, pinalabas siya nung Christmas.
Okay. Wow.
Habang tumutunog yung mga ambulance, nag-breakdown ako sa bahay. Yung parang, Lord naman, ang hirap-hirap na. Ito na yun.
Okay.
Ang hirap-hirap na. Tapos ngayon, I made one movie. And then, bookends ng buhay mo siya pinapalabas. How am I going to top it? Parang, okay na ako dun eh. Parang pinahirap mo palalo. Pinapalabas mo na sa kapanganakan at kamatayan mo yung kaisa-isang pelikula ko. Paano ko pa ito itatap?
Yes.
And then I realized there's no need to tap it. It's my work. It's whatever my work. So this one, Paragua, has nothing to do with that. It just so happened na kwento ko yung... Because you cannot tell a story that's not your story.
Yes.
So it Paragua
resonates somehow.
Si Paragua still tells about my experience for the past decade na nanirahan ako dito. It still has the Cuyunon sensibilities that I have. Pero I'm doing this movie because the girl that I'm raising watched Pluning for the first time and sabi niya sa akin, ba't hindi ka mag-direct? Ang galing mo pala. Doon ako, ba't hindi ka mag-direct ulit? Doon ako na parang, oo nga.
So,
why not give it another try?
But do you think you created the monster nung naging big ang Pluning? And then it's hunting you now?
It's more like, para sa akin kasi, I was able to give Judy Ann the proper respect as an artist. I was able to show her how much I love her. Because for me, ewan ko kung may mag-disagree, pero okay lang para merong laman ang comment section. Pero para sa akin, yung Pluning ang pelikulang pinakamaganda si Judy Ann sa akin.
Okay.
Because I see her nakagigisi lang, I see her nakakatulog alam ko kung saan siya pinakamaganda, and I was able to document her at her prime, turning 30, kumbaga yun, and once a week halos nakakatanggap ako ng at least once a month nakakatanggap ako ng mga bata ngayon na halos hindi na nakita yung Pluning and praising the movie. Lahat nung sinasabi ko, nagwalo akong TV shows sa ABS, dami kong ginawa. Lahat dun doesn't matter anymore. Ang importante sa akin, I was able to make Pluning. I was able to make a movie that speaks about salvation. I was able to do something that helped make Cuyunon the official language of Palawan.
Yes.
And every once in a while, it pays the bill. Kasi pag may screening sa...
Yun ang pinaka-importante, direct.
Last month, nasa UNESCO ako. So, in-screen nila. By the time na lumabas yung screening fee, papunta na kami ng Puyo. So, it still pays the bill. Manaka-nakang dumarating siya. Manaka-nakang dumarating. So, okay na okay ako.
Pero the way you speak Pluning, no, parang eto na yung parang isa sa pinaka-opus nyo, no? Kung tatawagin natin. Tapos, may susunod na Paragua. Parang nakakatakot. I mean, aminin natin yung karamihan ng director pag nakagawa na sila ng something beautiful. It haunts them. Parang nabubuhay yung character sa buhay nila na nilalamon sila ng sistema. How do you deal with this? Lalo na may parating na bagong pelikulang Paragua.
Yun ang hirap akong i-deal. For the past almost 2 decades, doon ako nahirapan. Kaya hindi ako nagpo-push na gumawa ng pelikula. Maliban sa nagkaroon din ako ng midlife crisis.
Tsaka direct doon nagkausap tayo, no? Parang ang dating sa'yo push-pull. Ang ramdam ko sa'yo push, gawin ko ba to? Hindi ko pa to. Nakakatakot kasi Pluning was very big, you know? Ang ganda niya. So now it's hunting you. How do you deal with this?
Sinake off ko silang lahat. Yun naman ang si Joyce Bernal went here. Ang nakakatawa niya, si Joyce Bernal went here to encourage me. Kinausap nila ako ni Piolo na it's been 2 decades na wala kang ginagawa dito. Ano ba yung gagawin mo? So si Piolo has his hotels in El Nido.
Yes,
so kumbaga, sabi ni Joyce, okay, I'll stay here. Sabi ni Piolo, bro, I can push buttons for you now. But ganyan, sabi ko, sabi niya sa akin, basta gumawa ka lang, walang limitations. If you don't want to direct it, it's fine. If you just write. Kailangan mo lang maglabas ng something. Tapos si Joy, sige, tututukan kita. Hindi ako aalis dito hanggat hindi ka nakakaano. I-shake off natin yung Pluning. Walang mag-uusap tungkol sa Pluning, walang banggitan ng Pluning. Okay. So, what I did, I just brought Joyce to every beach possible, every different sunrise and different sunset every day for 15 days. Tapos dumating kami sa Sibaltan minsan. Nasa Sibaltan kami, sa dulo ng Cuyo, sa dulo ng mainland Palawan. Sabi niya sa akin, magandang inspiration to, moonrise. Manunood tayo ng moonrise. Tapos pagkatapos, may napuntahan ako doon, may resort doon na maganda. Magano tayo doon, mag amaretto sour tayo. Tapos ganyan, tapos may cultural show daw. So, sige, baka that seals the inspiration and ganyan. Sabi ko, sige. Never akong nagsalita sa kanya tungkol sa Ploning. Itong halos isang linggo mahigit na kami. Walang banggitan ng Ploning. Basta find inspirations according to how life happens now. Tapos, pag-start ng pwesto siya doon. Upo kami, nakatig-ilang happy hour. So, nakatig-ilang pag-opening ng cultural show, ang opening number, Ploning. Sabi ni Joyce.
It's calling you. It's calling you. It's a sign. It's a sign.
Ay, wala. I give up. Meron talaga siya. Kumbaga, because ang difference kasi namin ni Joyce na dalawa, she made a lot of movies but it's all studio produced. Ako, I only made one but I produced it according to my temperament, my sensibilities, my inarte and my kuyunon. Kumbaga, binuhos ko yung buong kaluluwa ko doon. So, kumbaga,
at some point, dito sa lahat ng ito, did you feel alone? Was there a time na you felt alone na yung ipinaglalaban mo, hindi kayo pinaglalaban?
Pinagsisihan ko minsan na there was one night in around 2016, 2015 na pinagsisihan ko na ginawa ko yung Ploning. Kasi nung panahon na, nung 8 shows ako, na-imagine mo naman kung nasa TV ka na 8 yung shows mo. As a production day. Magkano yung kita ko per day noon, di ba? Pero nangyari kasi yan, there was one Christmas in 2004. 2004? Parang nag-shoot lahat nung show ko on the same day kasi magpapasko Christmas break. Nag-shoot yung 8 show. Huling taping ko sa Malabon Church, tapos alas 4 ng madaling araw, nagdadrive ako pa uwi. Tinawagan ko alam ko na, si Tita Connie Reyes, who's the one who, naging Christian kasi ako because of Connie Reyes. So, sabay kami ni Piolo na nagpabaptize. Okay. Oo. So, alam ko gising na siya by 4 o'clock. 4:30 tinawagan ko siya. Tapat ako ng SM North. Nagpark ako, tapos denial ko siya. Sabi ko, Tita Connie, alam mo ba? Sabi niya, tangaga mo tumawag. Sabi ko, kapapack up lang ng huling taping ko. 8 yung taping ko today. Sabay-sabay. Okay. Alam mo kung magkano sinweldo ko? Sabi ko, eto, ganito. Edi ang saya-saya ng Pasko mo eh. Sabi ko, kaya nga ako tumatawag sa'yo eh. Hindi ako masaya.
Why?
Maybe I was able to get out of the island, but the island never left the boy.
Tama.
Siguro it's really because I do things differently when it's iba yung pitik ng puso ko pag tungkol sa Palawan yung ginagawa.
But have you confronted that boy already?
Yeah, the boy is now a golden boy, 52-year-old boy. The boy is now golden. And I think it's alam mo, nung iniisip ko, why will I write a movie? Why will I make another movie when I cannot top Ploning anymore? Mm-hmm. Pandemic just happened.
Yes.
Pandemic just happened for 3 reasons ulit. Parang kung dati yung Kuyunon language, Birthday Needs to Die, at yung desire ko to put out something as my swan song bilang minsang naging bahagi ng industriya. 3 factor ulit. Katatapos lang ng pandemya. Mm-hmm. Dati when I pitched to people, when I was trying to convince my friends to buy properties in Palawan, I say, walang lindol, walang bagyo. Noong 2021, bumagyo na. Oo, bumagyo na. Sa kasalukuyan, I can easily plan life outside of Palawan, outside of the Philippines, because of my fear. If I will entertain the fear of WPS every day.
West Philippines, okay.
Oo. Pwedeng matagal na akong wala din dito. Mm-hmm. So why am I still here? I think it's a good time to tell people that the reason for being still here, aside from kahit nandun yung 3 dahilan na to kung bakit ang hirap ng buhay, Kumbaga, ang isang ano ko sa pelikula, when you watch the sunset, you have two choices kasi pag nasa Palawan ka eh.
Okay po.
Oo. Pag tumingin ka ng sunset, ang dalawang choice mo, matatakot ka dahil sa kung saan lumulubog ang araw, merong mga barkong pagdigma sa di kalayuan.
Ang lalim ha? Direct
Diba?
ha? Okay.
O magpapasalamat ka na nakaisang araw ka na naman sa paraiso.
Yes.
So
Juxtaposition.
that's basically the theme of the movie. Yun
ang
na.
galing,
Parang,
ang galing. Parang either choice, no? Parang ang hirap, no? Kung ano yung gusto mong choice na piliin.
Pero I think I want everyone after watching the movie to thank God for being here, or at least the tourists to thank God for sending them to Palawan in this lifetime.
Pero nakasalubong niyo yung old you na nagsusulat ng Pluning. What advice would you tell him?
It's gonna be hard, but it's gonna be beautiful. No regrets.
Will you still push him? Will you still push him?
Definitely. Definitely. Kasi ako ngayon, before I used to be to get introduced lang as the best friend of Juday. When Pluning came, best friend of Juday and the director of Pluning. Now that people don't see me, Juday together because magka-text na lang kami madalas.
Okay.
And we don't comment on each other's post
Anymore.
as a rule, para walang opinion ng mga tao sa friendship namin. Now I get introduced by one praise, the director of Pluning, and I like it.
What's the most heartache you received in all of this?
There will be days na wala akong pambili ng diaper ng pinapalaki kong bata.
Really?
Oo.
Okay.
There will be days na palubog na yung araw, hindi pa malalaman kung saan manggagaling yung hapunan. But it also makes you realize that yung sinasabi sa Biblia na mana still happening now in the form of GCash and Palawan.
It still exists.
Diba?
It does exist. Amen.
Diba?
Amen. I receive it once in a while as well.
Diba?
Thank you. Yep, tama. Pero moving forward dito sa new movie mo na kinoconcept. Actually tapos na, no? Hindi na kinoconceptualize.
Buo na pinapolish na lang. I'm trying to experience yung mga hindi ko after we will launch it on the 27th.
Is this self-produced, direct? Self-produced siya or
no, Piolo promised to raise funds for me, but the film being very personal, I don't want to submit it to major companies in a presentation deck.
Okay.
Kasi pag presentation deck, marami ka pang mako-comment eh. I want to present it as a script. Si Piolo, nung isang linggo, tinanong niya ako, so how was it? Kumusta? Anong lagay? Sabi ko, I decided not to talk to you about it until I give it to you as a script. Sabi ko, isipin mo na lang, I'm writing my 50th birthday gift to you.
Oh, wow.
Oo. So
50 na si Piolo.
Magfi-50 siya. Pero as a producer kasi, Piolo produced Kita Kita. One of the biggest.
Okay.
Kumbaga, he produced Kita Kita and Kimidora. So, kumbaga, maganda yung track record niya as a producer. I respect that. Pero, nakikita ko na stricto siya bilang producer. So, I want to raise the first 10% of the movie. Kasi sa pinagawa ng pelikula, di ba?
Tama po.
You raise the project development fund, which is the first 5% of the first 10% of the movie, to develop your concept into a script. Ako naman, ang experience ko sa Pluning, since sinikreto ko siya, walang sense of ownership yung mga taga Palawan. Kaya marami sa kanila yung naging critic kesa i-appreciate yung ginawa ko.
No.
So now, I'm trying to raise the first 10% of the movie na palawin yung stakeholders para pag pinalabas yung pelikula, they can say, while I'm doing it, masasabi nila na nag-produce ako ng pelikula. And I will honor all of them equally kahit magkano yung pinatak nila para masabi ko na eto, sa panahong present yung tatlong bagay na pinagdududa natin kung paraiso pa ba ito, we all came together to make something that the pagbuka ng history 100 years after, nung nag-transition yung buhay from paper to screen, we made the film.
Pero mulat na ba ang mga taga Palawan to embrace this type of scheme?
Sobra. Sobrang daming magagaling na mga taga Palawan. Kumbaga, when I see their work, ang daming magagaling, pero ang dami pa rin kasing hinuhugot nila yung inspiration nila sa Pluning because it was the biggest so far because it's a film. Kumbaga, kaya gusto kong gumawa ng bago para to give them another inspiration and to tell them na at this point kasi, di ba yung pandemya, 3 taon na yung mga kabataan na-explore nila yung internet according to sa hilig nila. So ako when I give workshop now, I don't do more of the technicals. I just tell them na how to find the story within you and then more of ano na lang sa akin yung pinupush ko na lang sila kasi sure ako na even sa Kanayunan I do workshops in Port Barton sa youth.
Do you do free workshops as well? Free workshops or
all my workshops are free.
Oh wow. Maybe we can invite you one day here, huh? Like
Diyos ko naman. 2 hours prior na notice nandito ako. Pag-uusapan po ba natin?
Tama. Hindi, pero etong sabi mo nga medyo mahigpit na producer si Piolo. Do you think kung sa kanya yung majority ng pagpuproduce, maibigay mo talaga kaya lahat yung istorya ng Paragua?
Actually, kasi Piolo, my talk with Piolo in February was he just flew to Palawan to shoot a movie straight from the Manila International Film Festival in LA. So sabi niya, ang daming nag-o-offer sa kanya. Pero nga, nung 2 years ago, nandito rin sila, yung spring film sila for Netflix kasi ang hinahanap na nila na pelikula, yung probinsya. Probinsya na kasi
iba na yung estilo.
Kasi lahat ng pelikula halos Manila. Ang dami-daming probinsya sa Pilipinas. Bakit hindi natin nakikita?
Explore.
So, hirap na sila mag-acquire ng movies ngayon. Nililimit na nila yung Manila location. So, yun yung ano nila. Ang ano naman nila sa akin, ang encouragement nila, if there's one director who can write about rural Philippines, ikaw yun. Kasi nanirahan ka dito.
Tingin mo maalagwa mo yun with Piolo. Sabi nyo kasi, may pitch ang producer. Baka mamaya may mga scene kayo doon na very important for the culture of Palawan and then against dun sa kanyang
Oo. Actually kami ni Piolo, hindi pa kami nagsasarado siya yung aarte.
Okay.
Siya pa lang yung magko-produce. Kumbaga, so ayokong mag-assume na siya na yung aarte. Hindi pa nandun. Pero kasi now, yung pagitan kasi ng between that and Pluning and Paragua, I was trying to find kung paano maging sustainable yung paggawa ng pelikula. Sabi kasi nila dati, yung mga volunteers ko, mga sa ibang bansa daw, makagawa ka ng isang magandang obra, buhay ka na for life.
Yes.
Sustain na. Dito hindi nangyayari. Bago ako naglakas loob na gumawa ng pelikula, alam ko na kung paano siya papakitain. So, ang paglabas ng pelikulang to sa Netflix ay bonus lang. Pero when I present to investors, I have an ROI. Ang hirap na kasing sabihin ngayon na paano mag-ROI yung pelikula mo? Pag bumaha sa Manila, wala nang pupunta sa sinehan. Diba? Pag bubumulan, wala nang pupunta sa sinehan. Mabad reviews ka, wala nang manunood. So, Paragua has 2 versions.
Okay.
One that is a regular movie and the other one will be shown in a Betamaxan in El Nido lang. Kubo lang.
Every night.
Every night, it will be shown in El Nido.
Actually, maganda yung concept na yan.
El Nido na live scored.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Pagpasok mo sa kubo kung saan ipapalabas yung Paragua, may mag-a-assist sa yung bata, bibigyan ka ng upuan ng unan kasi galing ka sa pagtutur, pagod ka sa isla, may kumot ka, may cooler. Pag roll ng pelikula, yung batang nag-assist sa'yo, maglalabas ng tipano, tutugtog siya, tutugtugan niya yung pelikula. Pagkatapos habang pinapanood mo ng pelikula, lahat ng kinakain ng lead actor, meron doon sa cooler.
Wow, parang 7D na to. 7D.
Hindi na yan din yung reaction ng mga kaibigan. Ang trippy naman yan. Sabi ko kasi, pero kids and elderlies doesn't have any entertainment for in El Nido. So I want to be that. I want to be the entertainment elder of mainland Palawan after this movie. This could be my last movie, but I'm exploring my theater arts background from here on.
Pero
beyond this. So.
Pero if I'm an investor, are you still open, direct?
Yes, definitely.
Where do we contact you just in case na gusto naming investor
Facebook
ako?
ko lang, Dante Nico Garcia. Yun. So kumbaga kaya ako malakas naman ang loob ko kasi marami ng partner hotel si Piolo sa El Nido.
Yes.
So pwede nang i-promote ng hotel niya, yung mga ganon. And kumbaga if one hotel will send just one guest every day in El Nido, I have a full house every night. Ganon ako ganon ko siya. Kumbaga hindi ko inaasahan yung bonus na lang yung mga festivals, bonus na lang yung mga releases sa streaming platform. That's where I want to get the money also. So that yung sinasabi ko naman if I'll be earning 1 peso per audience or 10 pesos na lang para hindi na ako mamroblema ng diaper. Hindi na ako mag-adapt ulit ng hindi na ako mamroblema ng isasaing. Kasi by 6 o'clock bayad na sila lahat. Diba?
So yun po yun. If ever I want to invest sa Facebook niyo lang. They can contact you sa Facebook.
It's I'm launching pa lang my film company ng 27. It's called the 48 Studios, but it has a page already. But you can message me directly in my social media.
But how much more do we need, Derek? Are we far or getting there?
Sige. Pluning was 24 million 20 years ago.
Okay.
So I cannot make a movie smaller than that because it will suffer by comparison.
Yes.
Sabi nga nila sa akin, wag mo ding i-limit kasi Palawan is so beautiful para gawin mo lang siyang indie. I mean, yung kumbaga, pag niliitan mo yung mga eksena, hindi mo makikita yung beauty ng Palawan. Dahil after Pluning, ang dami ng films na nag-shoot sa Palawan eh. Pero hindi mo ma-feature yung ganda ng Palawan kung hindi mo siya lalakihan. Kasi ang ganda-ganda ng location mo. And ang experience ko din, after Pluning, I tried to pitch to some companies. I have a French a film na dapat isushoot sa France and sa Ito yung experience ko. I was talking to the French attaché of in Hollywood for a movie back in 2011. Sabi niya sa akin, sabi ko, so how much do you think will this movie cost? Sabi ko, maybe about 15 million. Sabi niya, I'm only allowed to fund up to 5 million. Sabi ko, okay, I can adjust it. Tapos mamaya, sabi niya sa akin, is it dollars or euros? Sabi ko, no, Philippine peso. No, you cannot present a movie because if it's 15 million, this is what, $300,000?
Tama.
Big companies will laugh at us.
Yes.
It cannot be that. It cannot be cheap.
Parang it's cheap.
Paano nangyari? Yung catering pa lang yan, di ba?
Parang it's cheap.
Diba? It's cheap, di ba?
Tama
So,
po.
I'm pegging the movie at $1 million. Ngayon, kumbaga, while I'm...
But how far are we, Derek?
I have conversations. I'm just raising the first 10% of the movie, which is and hopefully yun nga yung goal ko, to be able to raise it na Palawenyo muna or everyone in love with Palawan yung to rally behind the film.
Is this strictly for Palaweños or even
No. Everyone who's Palawenyo, everyone who once fell in love with Palawan or wants to fell in love with a Palawenyo. Okay, pasok ka doon.
I like it. And then Derek, before we end this, what are we expecting from Paragua different from Pluning?
Yun nga, so now it's ang mentor ko kasi talaga sa buhay is si Tony Mabesa, who is now national artist for theater. And when I was at the peak of in 2013, when I decided na dito na ako, yung forward ng coffee table book ng Pluning siya yung nagsulat.
Okay po.
Nung nandito na ako nag-decide, inuwian niya ako dito at sinabi niya sa akin na I know you will rise above all this like a phoenix. So this film is my homage to him. I'm marrying my theater experience and my film experience with this one. So that's what sets Paragua apart from Pluning. Kumbaga doon ako excited kasi gabi-gabi may mga audiences ako mamimit. Kumbaga mapapakain ko sila ng kasoy, mapapainom ko sila ng Palawan beer. Kumbaga, 'di ba? Yun ang excited ako. That's what people can expect. Kumbaga, and alam mo, may isang note kasi. I also want to tour this film to every Palawan basketball court.
Okay.
Kasi a lot of Palaweños from the south hindi pa nakakapunta ng El Nido. Ang daming taga Puerto na hindi pa nakakapunta ng Underground River. So if I'll be able to present Palawan in a movie na kahit hindi nila mapuntahan dahil hindi na accessible, they will know where they are.
As if, okay.
Oo, kumbaga, ano yung karugtong netong tinutungtungan mong lupa? Ano yung nasa kabilang dulo nito na hindi mo pa nakikita?
Magkamukha ba kayo doon sa kabila?
Diba?
Tama po.
Kasi ang ibang-iba yung El Nido ko yun.
Yes.
And then, sa dulo, Muslim, diba? Somehow, I hope I'll be able to create one level of Palawan pride, the Paragua pride na kumbaga magawa ko man lang yun na yun ang attempt ko. Kumbaga yun ang gusto ko yun yung ine-expect kong magawa ko. Yun yung pressure na binibigay ko sa sarili ko.
Any message to the upcoming filmmakers? Direct.
Mga kabataan.
Kabataan.
Tatanda rin kayo.
Humanda kayo.
Tatanda rin kayo. For now, enjoy nyo muna yan. Oo. Sundin nyo lang kung anong sinasabi ng puso nyo. If you follow your heart naman, you'll never go wrong. Sometimes lang it feels like it, but after years, marirealize mo, okay, tama naman pala lahat. Kailangan ko naman palang pagdaanan yun. Sabi nga ng tattoo ko, may rason para sa tanan. Ito yung last line ng Aqua ng Pluning. There's a reason for everything. So whenever it feels like making something, do it.
Tampo. To the Palaweños,
find one person. When the film is out, please watch it because it's a pelikula tungkol sa ating lahat ngayon.
Message to the people of Cuyo.
Extra Viva.
Festival ba doon? Festival ba?
Extra Viva parang huriyan ng Cuyo.
Kailan po yung festival doon, Direk?
Last week lang. May ano pa nga ako may nahihilo-hilo pa nga ako And ito, the people of Cuyo, people of Cuyo are everywhere now. So, kumbaga, hindi mo na nga kailangan sabihan kasi kahit dito sa Puerto,
anong tagline?
Nung una akong dumating dito, Extra Viva. Nung una akong dumating dito, wala pa nagsasalita masyado. Di ba ngayon kahit sa tricycle, ang dami nang nagsasalita. Proud nang magsalita ng hindi mo pa ma-quantify, pero from my perspective, Cuyunons are more proud now of their being Cuyunon than how we were pre-Pluning.
Okay, so with that...
And I want to claim a little bit of that. Sige, pagbigyan nyo na ako.
Perfect. So with that, let's end it with Extra Viva. Tama po ba?
Extra Viva.
Extra Viva. And then, yun lang po. Thank you, Direk, for dropping by. Alam ko, hectic ang schedule niya.
Ano ka ba? Lapit-lapit dito sa bahay.
Direk, yung natin, workshop natin dito, one of these days, pag hindi kayo busy.
Anytime, any day.
Perfect. So yun, people of Palawan, kung sino may nare-reach ng podcast na to, Pluning was a very, very beautiful movie, no? And I don't think Direk will just let it go like that. So yung Paragua, let's wait for it, watch it. And thank you again, Direk. Extra Viva.
Extra Viva.